Mr. Hammer here with section 10.5, question number 6. So this is 10.5, question number 6, and we'll do number 7 as well. Alona thinks of a number. She divides the number by 4, then adds 10. The answer is 14. Write an equation. Notice I'm underlining everything. It's a good idea to underline things. So she thinks of a number. We don't know what that number is. We can substitute it with n. She divides the number by 4, so divide by 4. Then she adds 10, so plus 10. And the answer is, that means equals 14. So we've written an equation, and that is it. Didn't even ask us to solve it, but we could kind of figure that out. If we did want to actually figure out what n was, we could say, well, some number divided by 4 plus 10 gives us 14. Well, what number plus 10 gives us 14? Well, 4 plus 10 is going to give us 14, which means that n divided by 4 has to equal to 4. So what number divided by 4 will give us 4? Well, that would be 16. 16 divided by 4 will give us 4. So n would be 16 in this case. But we're not at that point. I just thought I'd point that part out. Let's go on to number 7. Write an equation for each sentence. Bhavin's age 7 years from now will be 20. So this gets a little bit tricky. So Bhavin's age 7 years from now, we don't know what his age now is. That becomes the unknown. So Bhavin's age, I'll say A, we don't know what that is, but we know that 7 years from now, it will be 20. 7 years, so we've got the number 7 in there. Again, if you don't know what to do, just start writing things down. So A is equal to Bhavin's age now. In 7 years from now, it's going to be 20. Well, will be sounds like an answer. Will be sounds like an equal sign. So in 7 years, it's going to be 20. So his age now plus 7 years from now will equal to 20. So that's the equation for this one. Now, 5 times, so 5 times the number of students. That's the thing we don't know. So I'm going to say S for students. 5S is equal to 295. Remember, no multiplication sign there. The perimeter of a rectangle with length 15 and width W is 38. Well, perimeter of a rectangle, let's write that up here, is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Now, we have a length of 15. So perimeter equals 2 times 15. They didn't tell us what the width is, plus 2 times the width. Now, they have told us what the perimeter is. They've said that the perimeter is actually 38. So we don't need to write P. They've told us P is 38 centimeters. So 38 centimeters equals 2 times 15, comes down here right below, plus 2W. So this is an equation. Notice that this equation has the variable part, the part with the letter, on the right side. That doesn't matter. We could actually switch this around. We could write it like this. 2W plus 30 equals 38 centimeters. Both of those ways of writing this is fine. You can always move around things to opposite sides as long as you have the same thing on each side. This is 2W plus 30, which is the same as 30 plus 2W. And we have 38 centimeters on either side. So this would be the right way to write that as well. Let's look at D. The cost of 2 tickets, see if I can move this out of the way, make it a little bit smaller. Whoops. We'll put that down here. Okay, the cost of 2 tickets at X dollars and 5 tickets at $4 is $44. Okay, so 2 tickets at X dollars. So we don't know how much that is, so that's 2 times X. Remember, we just write 2 because there's a silent little multiplication sign there. This means 2 times X. And means plus 5 tickets at $4 each. So at, in this case, means multiplied. We're multiplying by $4 means equals, in this case, $44. So we would now write that as 2x plus 20 because this actually 5 times 4 is 20, so we would rewrite that as 2x plus 20 equals 44. Now, the question here is which equation was the most difficult to write? Explain. Probably I'm going to guess this one because we first had the perimeter in the beginning, and it got a little bit confusing. We had to use an equation we previously maybe didn't remember. We had to recall that. And then we also had the perimeter given to us, and we're not used to that. We're used to having to solve the perimeter when they give us the length and the width, and then we find this out. In this case, they've already given us the perimeter.